Communicating with children and students in this ministry is really important because good communication builds relationship. But we want you to be careful as you start communication with your kids and students, especially outside the classroom. Um, there's some specific guidelines to help us be wise and to be careful. We've outlined most of them in our volunteer guide, and I hope you'll take a look at it. I want to talk about a couple of those things today. The first one is phone calls. If you need to make a phone call to a student or a child, always call the parent first. Identify yourself and let them know why you're calling, and ask for permission to talk about that thing with their student. This just builds their confidence in us, knowing that we respect and value them as the authority and the leader in that child's life. And we don't want to do anything behind their back or to undermine their authority. So we go directly to them and say, hey, could I talk to your child? I want to invite them to the pool party next week. And they'll say, sure. As you get to know them better, they may just go ahead and give you permission to call the child directly. But that comes with some long-standing relationship with them. So be really wise. The same thing goes for texting or emailing a student. I always text or email the parent first and tell them kind of what kinds of things I want to be able to communicate. Sometimes I'm just sending a verse to encourage or to pray for them or to ask about a certain situation, but I get parent permission first. And then before you send that text or email, reread it. Make sure that it's worded the way that you intended and nothing can be taken kind of in the wrong way or inappropriately. Try not to make jokes that later can come back to bite you. So be really professional as you communicate, especially in writing. Sometimes we've taken photos on different activities or in the classroom. We think, oh, this would be so cool to share. I'll just post this on Facebook, or I'll let all my friends see this. And you have to be really careful there. Some kids are really in very complicated circumstances in their home life. And so we always need to check with the parent first before we ever do anything with photos of kids or students in our ministry. Send the photo to the parent. Say, hey, took this picture of your kid, thought you'd want to have it. Would love to be able to share it on Facebook if that's okay. But get their permission. Send it to them first. We've had some difficult situations come up because somebody posted a picture online of and a child was not supposed to be visible to another person or another parent. So help us with that and always check with the parent. Speaking of Facebook and kind of online posts, want to make sure that you're careful as a volunteer. Remember that everything you post online is seen by lots of families in the church, by kids and their parents in your ministry. Even the pages that you like, it's going to appear in somebody's newsfeed. Somebody's going to see it. And then you're identified with that. And parents will say, wait a second, isn't that your Sunday school teacher? Isn't that your small group leader? And they begin to question or wonder about your character and your motivation. So be really careful about the cool, funny photo of yourself and the activity that you're doing. Make sure you're just really wise about what you post and what you like online. Remember that you represent children's and student ministries. You represent Canyon Hills Community Church. And most of all, you represent Jesus. And what you post online is part of your testimony to parents, believers and non-believers. And it's also your example to your students who are following you. Paul said, your life, our life, is like a letter written by God for all to see and read. So God is writing a work in your life. God is doing something very cool in you. But everybody's reading it. Everybody's seeing it. It's public. It's on display. So help us in all of your communication, whether it's by phone or text or online posts. Make sure that everything we do honors the Lord Jesus, represents this ministry well, and ultimately points people to Jesus, doesn't confuse them. Thanks. Let's start building good communication with our children and families. Thanks.